The following is a true story. Nothing has been changed or concealed. Why would it? We are all here for the same reason, to know exactly how these wretched souls died. Welcome to the Iron and Ale, where your doom begins. The Iron and Ale is a dwarven tavern, known for its sturdy tables, judgmental bartenders, and the occasional bar fight over mining rights. The air is thick with the smell of ale, burnt meat, and bad decisions. The bartender slides over a soggy parchment, a crude map, dramatis personae, the poor bastard's about to die. Baldric Mugwort, human rat catcher, talks to his dead rats, immune to bad smells. Hilda Bronzebuckle, dwarf, chimney sweep, sees omens in soot, will eat anything if dared. Mervyn the Mouth, Twigs, human failed bard, talks his way in and out of trouble, sings terribly. Sprig Willowfoot, halfling, beekeeper, calls bees tiny sky gods, afraid of big creatures. Big Mort the Unwashed, human gong farmer, laughs at bad moments, claims he fought a demon. Tula, Two-Toes, Larks, elf, glassblower's apprentice, obsessed with beauty, hates loud noises. Rooster McFeathers, human, chicken wrestler, won't eat food unless he defeats it, knows bird law. Gorstag the artist, dwarf, taxidermist, stares too long, talks about his masterpieces. Lenny Lanternface Boggs, human street performer, always spinning something, thinks fire is alive. Fennel Quickfingers, halfling, pickpocket, always smiling, can't stop flipping coins. Your path to doom is set. According to badly scrawled local legends, this cave in the nearby hills of Threshold is known as the Maw of Screaming Skulls, because it looks like a screaming skull. If you listen closely, the wind howling through it sounds like shrieking ghosts, and there are actual skulls scattered about. Nobody smart goes near it, which is exactly why you are going. Into the Maw of Screaming Skulls. Baldric Mugwort, ever the professional, holds up his dead rat like a divining rod and proclaims, "Squeakers says it's safe." Squeakers is a corpse, and Squeakers is wrong. The moment the first fool steps into the cave, the ground gives way beneath them, revealing a 10-foot-deep pit lined with jagged stalagmites that look particularly unwelcoming. Rooster McFeathers, being a self-proclaimed adventurer, strides in first, confident, bold, and about to be impaled. He plummets into the pit, landing onto a particularly rude stalagmite. There is a sickening crunch. He twitches once. He is very, very dead. "Tell my chickens," he gasps, then expires. His sack of angry chickens bursts open, releasing a horrified flock that flaps wildly into the night, squawking their grief to the stars. The party stares down at his crumpled body in stunned silence. Hilda Bronzebuckle solemnly drops a handful of soot into the pit. He died the way he lived, falling into danger. Big Mort just laughs. The horror deepens. After carefully stepping around the now occupied pit, the party presses forward, deeper into the damp, dripping cave. The walls are slick with moisture. The air smells like old rot, and there is a distant clicking sound that no one likes. Baldric steps forward, muttering to Squeakers, "Squeakers, my dear, I believe we're not alone." He is correct, but Squeakers is still dead. From the shadows above, two horrifically oversized spiders descend on glistening silk strands, their bulbous bodies silhouetted in the flickering torchlight. The clicking sounds grow louder as their many legs tap against the stone, their fangs dripping venom. The party does not react well. Mervyn, the mouth twigs, immediately tries to talk to the spiders. Fennel Quickfingers attempts to pocket Baldric's dead rat for some reason. Big Mort laughs again. Lenny Lanternface Boggs juggles in terror. Baldric Mugwort yells, "My babies!" and charges forward. The battle is chaos. Baldric swings his rat stick like a madman, but barely scratches the creatures. Hilda furiously bludgeons at them with her broom, achieving nothing. Mervyn, in a moment of pure panic, breaks into an off-key song about the beauty of spiders, which only seems to enrage them further. Then, Sprig Willowfoot, who has no combat skills and very poor judgment, hurls a jar of honey at one of the spiders. It smacks directly onto the spider's many-eyed face, blinding it with a sticky, sugary mess. The spider flails wildly in confusion. Sprig screams, "The sky gods have spoken!" Taking advantage of the chaos, Tula Two-Toes Larks lunges forward with her delicate glass dagger and stabs a spider right in its disgusting, hairy abdomen. Green ichor sprays onto her hands as the spider screeches in fury, legs twitching in pain. And then, tragedy strikes. The spider retaliates, its dripping fangs sinking deep into Tula's shoulder. She collapses, clutching at her wound. Her breathing grows labored. Her limbs stiffen. Her lips tremble as she whispers, "My life was so beautiful." And then she dies. Big Mort shakes his head. "Damn shame. She owed me a drink." Meanwhile, Lenny attempts to fight by swinging his empty lantern like a flail. He somehow manages to hit himself in the face. He collapses, unconscious. Big Mort falls over laughing. At last, Baldric, screaming for vengeance, brings his rat stick down on the wounded spider's head with a sickening crack. The creature convulses once, then twitches no more. The second spider, still blinded by honey, flails in frustration as Big Mort slams a shovel into its legs. It hisses in pain, but remains standing. Finally, Hilda Bronzebuckle, fueled by sheer dwarven stubbornness, swings her broom like a battle axe, striking the spider directly in the head. The beast twitches violently, then collapses into a mess of honey, guts, and regret. The cave falls silent. The battle is over. The survivors stare at the carnage, their own blood mixing with green ichor, honey pooling on the floor, and a lifeless Tula sprawled across the stones. A single chicken clucks somewhere in the distance. Big Mort, grinning, wipes his face. Well, that was fun. Aftermath. Rooster McFeathers is dead, impaled by gravity. Tula, Two-Toes, Larks is dead, poisoned by a giant spider. Lenny Lanternface knocked himself out, again. General Cluckles is still undefeated, a legend in the making. Sprig Willowfoot weaponized honey and is now a devout believer in the sky gods. The party is battered, but victorious. The survivors loot the corpses, collecting venom sacs from the spiders and distributing weapons among those who need them. They have no time to rest. The cave stretches on, deeper into the unknown, deeper into the cave. With 2 bodies left behind and 1 sack of chickens suspiciously acquired, your intrepid survivors press further into the dark, winding tunnels. The narrow passage twists downward, the air grows colder, and the dripping water echoes unnervingly. The faint screeching wind from earlier is replaced by silence. The kind of silence that only means something is waiting for you. Then, something scuttles ahead of you, rolling for the next nightmare. Result: giant centipedes. Encounter: the writhing terror. From the shadows of the cave floor, long chitinous bodies begin to uncoil. First, one emerges, its black eyes glistening, its many legs twitching. Then, a second one slithers out, hissing in unnatural clicks. Then, a third. Their sharp mandibles drip with venom. Big Mort, standing at the front, squints. Oh, hell no. Before anyone can react, the centipedes lunge. The battle begins. The first centipede goes straight for Big Mort. Its mandibles sink into his neck, pumping venom into his bloodstream. Big Mort laughs as his veins turn black. Then he collapses, dead. Hilda scowls. Damn it, Mort! The second centipede snaps at Baldric Mugwort, but he ducks, clutching Squeaker's corpse like a shield. The third goes for Fennel Quickfingers, who barely manages to dodge, getting clipped just enough to feel the sting of venom. But somehow, he shakes it off. Now it's the party's turn. Baldric swings his rat stick in a furious rage and misses. Hilda slashes at a centipede and misses. Mervyn, the mouth, tries to sing at them, and it only makes them angrier. Sprig fires his one good rock from his sling and miraculously cracks a centipede's exoskeleton. Lenny, recovered from knocking himself out, blows his whistle again. The high-pitched screech stuns the centipedes for a moment, buying the party some time. The turning point. With the centipedes momentarily disoriented, Fennel Quickfingers points at one. General Cluckles, attack! The war chicken flies from his shoulder like a missile, latching onto a centipede's face and pecking it to death. Silence. Sprig stares in awe. The sky gods truly favor him. Only one centipede remains. Baldric, enraged, finally lands a hit, smashing its head in with his club. The battle is over. Victory and aftermath. Big Mort is dead, bitten and poisoned by a giant centipede. 2 centipedes were slain through dumb luck and pure rage. General Cluckles remains undefeated. Sprig is out of rocks. The party loots the corpses, collecting 2 venom sacks and Big Mort's shovel. Baldric claims 1 venom sack. Hilda, grinning, coats her new shovel in venom. Now she wields a poisoned sanitation tool of death. Sprig manages to scavenge 3 more sling stones, slightly improving his chances of survival. Weapons redistributed, wounds barely patched, and 1 war chicken mightier than ever, the group moves forward. Part 4. The Blade, the Altar, and the Lie of the Century. With weapons ready, poison applied, and General Cluckles still undefeated, your battered survivors press further into the maw of screaming skulls. The air grows colder, and the walls glisten with dampness. The light from your torches flickers as if the cave itself is breathing. And then, you hear it. A low, distant moaning. At first it sounds like the wind, but then you realize it's voices. Fennel frowns. Well, that's unsettling. Hilda spits. Pfft. Probably just more kobolds whining 'cause we kicked their teeth in. Lenny, rubbing his temples, mutters, or ghosts. Baldric, gripping Squeaker's lifeless body, shudders. I don't like this. Then Hilda takes another step forward. Click. From the walls, a massive rusted blade swings downward at terrifying speed. It cleaves straight through Lenny Lanternface Boggs. He doesn't even have time to scream. He simply falls in two perfect halves. Fennel sighs. Well, that's unfortunate. Baldric shrugs. He was always kind of an idiot. Hilda nods. Moment of silence for Lenny. Okay, moving on. Jumping the trap. After looting Lenny's dagger, lantern and nose plugs, the group carefully jumps over the deadly pressure plate. Baldric leaps like a rat escaping a flood. Hilda barely makes it. Sprig flips mid-air like a circus performer. Fennel stumbles, but lands safe. General Cluckles simply flies over the trap. They move on. The whispering altar. The moaning grows louder. And then they see it. A massive, crude altar sits in the center of the chamber, covered in bones, dried blood, and ominous carvings. The moaning comes from the altar itself. Baldric, whispering, "I hate this." Fennel, eyeing the surroundings. What's the over-under on this thing being cursed? Sprig's eyes widen. The sky gods whisper caution, but also tell me to take stuff. As Baldric steps closer, the whispers stop. The cave is silent. Then a deep, guttural voice echoes through the cavern. Who dares to disturb my rest? The altar begins to shake. The air turns freezing. The bones on the ground start rattling. Baldric immediately regrets everything. Mervyn lies to an ancient horror. The survivors look at Mervyn. Mervyn, sweating profusely, realizes it's time for his greatest performance. He clears his throat, straightens his filthy shirt, and speaks. Oh, great and powerful, voice. We mean no disrespect. We are but humble pilgrims. Yes, pilgrims, on a sacred journey to, praise your great and terrible majesty. Silence. The voice rumbles. Pilgrims! Seekers of the great power? Have you come to prove your worth? The altar stops shaking, but the air remains tense. Mervyn gulps. Yes. The most audacious lie ever told. The party stares at Mervyn. He doubles down. Oh, mighty voice, we have already proven our worth. We have braved deadly spiders, conquered monstrous centipedes, bested a band of kobolds with chickens. And our greatest sacrifice, one of our own, the mighty warrior Lenny, was taken by your very trial. Is that not proof enough of our strength, of our dedication, of our divine right to receive your blessing? The cavern holds its breath. The bones stop rattling. The voice pauses. Then, you have faced many trials. You have spilled blood in these sacred grounds. You have wielded the chicken of war. Silence. General Cluckles lets out a single, ominous cluck. Very well. You are worthy. Somehow, this worked. The altar stops shaking. The whispering ceases. The black dagger embedded in the altar slides free. The rusted chest unlocks. Nobody can believe this actually worked. Sprig whispers, I think we just bullshitted a ghost. Hilda mutters, I have never been prouder of anything in my entire life. Fennel blinks. Mervyn, you might actually be useful. Mervyn raises his arms. I have ascended. The lute. Fennel quick fingers, moving before anyone can stop him, yanks the black dagger from the altar. It pulses in his grip. It feels alive. It is almost certainly cursed. Baldric deadpans, "That thing is going to get you killed." Hilda corrects, "It's going to get us killed." Fennel grins, or "Make me unstoppable." The chest creaks open, revealing 50 gold pieces, a healing potion, a tarnished silver ring, a small strange bone charm wrapped in cloth. The group takes turns picking loot. Fennel takes the gold. Nobody is surprised. Hilda takes the healing potion. She plans ahead. Sprig takes the tarnished ring. He trusts the sky gods. Baldric takes the bone charm, because Squeakers approves. Mervyn gets nothing. Mervyn whines, "Wait, that was it?" Hilda grunts, "You got us past the altar, you scrawny bastard. That was your reward." Mervyn sighs. Fair. A rare, wise decision. The party leaves alive. For the first time in adventuring history, a group of idiots decides to stop while they're ahead. They navigate back out of the cave. They pass the remains of Big Mort and Lenny. No one mourns. Fennel steals Lenny's second boot. Sprig whispers, "The sky gods approve." Returning to the timbered mug, the grand celebration. Back in town, Bjorn Woodcleaver eyes the battered survivors. "You're alive. That's unexpected." He tosses them 100 gold. They celebrate their ridiculous success over cheap ale. Rewards. Each survivor gains 50 XP. They officially reach Level 1. New classes: Hilda Bronzebuckle, Fighter, Shovel of Death Wielder; Fennel Quick Fingers, Thief, Greedy Bastard and Cursed Dagger Collector; Baldric Mugwort, Cleric, Talks to Dead Rats; Sprig Willowfoot, Magic User; Sky God's Prophet; Mervyn the Mouth; Twigs, Thief, Professional Bullshitter. Final scene. The survivors raise their mugs. To Big Mort, he died the way he lived, filthy and loud. To Lenny, who truly met the sharp end of destiny. To Rooster McFeathers, who lost the fight against gravity. To us, the ones who actually made it. General Cluckles clucks solemnly. The legend begins.